We all know that our planet is covered in 71% salty and sweet water. But how much do we really understand about the world beneath the waves? The truth is, barely anything. The more we explore, the more baffling and unsettling things we uncover. From eerie sounds echoing through the deep to bizarre structures that defy explanation, the oceans and lakes of our world hold secrets that will send chills down your spine. Some discoveries raise more questions than answers, and others, well, they'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the deep. Let's take a look at 15 underwater secrets that will leave you speechless. Number 15, Julia. The ocean is already terrifying, like we've explored more of outer space than the deep sea. So when scientists randomly pick up an insane, unexplained sound from the abyss, yeah, that's nightmare fuel. In 1999, NOAA, aka the Ocean Science People, recorded a sound so loud it traveled over 3,000 miles across the Pacific. It lasted 15 minutes, a deep moaning noise that legit sounded like something was crying from the depths. And they named it Julia. Cool, thanks for making it worse. So what was it? NOAA says it was probably a massive iceberg running aground in Antarctica. Probably. But then rumors started spreading. NASA allegedly had satellite footage from the same time and place that showed something massive moving underwater. And suddenly, this wasn't just some boring iceberg story anymore. We might never know what Julia really was, but if it was alive, let's just hope it never makes a sound like that again. Number 14, the shark statue in Lake Neuchâtel. So you're out for a peaceful swim in Switzerland. The water's clear, the sun's shining. Life is good. Until you look down and see a freaking shark staring back at you. But don't worry, this terrifying, dead-eyed predator isn't about to make your lunch. It's actually a statue placed there by someone with a twisted sense of humor. And trust us, they knew exactly what they were doing. Located at the bottom of Lake Neuchâtel, this nightmare-inducing shark sculpture lurks in the depths, waiting to ambush unsuspecting divers who don't know it's there. And let's be real, if you're casually swimming and suddenly see a full-sized, razor-toothed shark staring at you from the darkness, your lizard brain isn't going to wait around to check if it's fake. So, is it just an elaborate prank? Or a reminder that sometimes the scariest things aren't the real ones, but the ones that make your heart stop anyway? Either way, if you ever dive in this lake, good luck. Number 13, Atlit Yam. Beneath the Mediterranean, just off the coast of Israel, lies Atlit Yam, a 9,000-year-old village that vanished beneath the waves. It's not just a few scattered ruins. This is an entire prehistoric settlement preserved at the bottom of the sea. Archaeologists have uncovered houses, a freshwater well, human skeletons, and a mysterious stone semicircle that some believe was used for rituals. This place was a thriving Neolithic community until something wiped it out. The leading theory? Rising sea levels or a massive tsunami triggered by an ancient volcanic eruption. Whatever happened, the people of Atlit Yam left in a hurry, leaving behind homes, tools, and even the remains of their last meal. It's like an untouched time capsule from a civilization we barely understand. And since it's been underwater for thousands of years, it makes you wonder, how many other lost cities are still waiting to be found? Well, there are a lot. Number 12, the icy finger of death, Brinacle. Every kid who's ever seen winter knows the joy of breaking off icicles and pretending they're swords. But what if we told you there's an icicle so deadly it freezes everything in its path? Meet the Brinacle, also known as the icy finger of death, a phenomenon straight out of a horror movie, except it's completely real. This chilling event happens in the Antarctic Ocean, and for a long time, scientists couldn't fully explain it. First spotted in the 1960s, it wasn't properly filmed until 2011, and what they captured was terrifying. A foggy, twisting ice tendril descends from the surface, reaching for the ocean floor like a frozen lightning bolt. As it touches, everything around it, starfish, sea urchins, and other bottom dwellers, turns to ice in seconds. This happens because salt water freezes differently than fresh water. When sea ice forms, it pushes out dense, freezing brine, which sinks. The surrounding water instantly crystallizes, forming this deadly underwater icicle. If conditions are perfect, it can grow meters per day. Number 11. The evil Maya sinkhole filled with skulls. There are sinkholes, and then there are Mayan underworld portals filled with actual human skulls. Guess which one we're talking about? Well, it's not on Mars or Planet 9. It's deep in Mayapan, Mexico. This sinkhole is so feared that locals won't go near it, won't drink from it, and definitely won't let their kids play anywhere close. And when did scientists finally explore it? They found what everyone already suspected: human remains. A lot of them. We're talking hundreds of skulls, eerily preserved in underwater caverns. And since the Maya believed sinkholes were literal gateways to the underworld, the theory is that this place was either a mass burial site or a human sacrifice pit. Either way, this was not where you wanted to end up back in the day. So yeah, some sinkholes swallow buildings. This one swallowed souls. Number 10. The HMS Daedalus's sea serpent. For over 20 minutes, the crew of HMS Daedalus, a Royal Navy warship, watched in shock as a 100-foot-long sea serpent with a dragon-like head swam alongside their vessel. Skeptical? Well, they weren't the only ones to see it. The American brig Daphne later reported the same creature, and unlike the Daedalus crew, they opened fire and tried to follow it. But just like that, it vanished into the depths. So, what was it? Modern scientists claim it was probably a whale, but let's be real. These were trained sailors. They knew the ocean, they knew whales, and yet they described something completely different. Could they have mistaken a giant serpent for a whale, or did they see something that shouldn't exist? Whatever it was pretty creepy. Number 9. Lion City, China's Atlantis. Alright, here's the deal. China had its own Atlantis, and they drowned it on purpose. No tsunami, no freak natural disaster. Just a hydroelectric project that needed a lake and apparently thought, yeah, let's flood this entire ancient city, no biggie. Back in 1959, the government submerged over 300 villages and displaced nearly 300,000 people, all so they could build a dam. And in the process, they wiped out Lion City, a 1,300-year-old masterpiece of ancient Chinese architecture. Streets, temples, stone-carved arches, it all disappeared under 130 feet of water. For decades, people forgot it even existed. Then, in 2001, divers went down and realized this city was still there. The buildings, untouched, the carvings, preserved like a time capsule. It's literally a ghost city frozen underwater. No decay, no destruction, just silent ruins staring back at you from the deep. It's eerie, it's beautiful, and it makes you wonder, what else is hidden under the water that we just haven't found yet? Number 8. The hidden underwater river in Mexico. An underwater river sounds like a glitch in reality, but it's real, and it's sitting at the bottom of Cenote Angelita in Mexico. This isn't just some trick of the light. This is an actual flowing river beneath the ocean, with its own banks, trees, and eerie fog-like currents. Here's how it works. Deep in the Yucatan Peninsula, saltwater and freshwater mix, but because they have different densities, a thin layer of hydrogen sulfide forms between them. The result? A ghostly river, completely separate from the ocean around it. Divers who visit describe it as surreal and unsettling. One moment, you're swimming in clear blue water, and the next, you're floating over a shadowy, moving river that shouldn't exist. It's one of those places that makes you question just how much we really know about the ocean, because if something like this is possible, what else is out there? Number 7. Pavlopetri. A lost city straight out of mythology, but this one is real. Pavlopetri, off the coast of Greece, is the oldest known underwater city in the world, dating back 5,000 years. Unlike other submerged ruins, this place still has intact roads, courtyards, and entire buildings resting just below the surface. Scientists believe it was a thriving Bronze Age port, but an earthquake or rising sea levels buried it beneath the Mediterranean. For centuries, it remained hidden, until modern technology allowed researchers to digitally rebuild the city, showing exactly how people lived thousands of years ago. Unlike Atlantis, there's no legend, no fantasy, just a perfectly preserved city that history forgot. And with new underwater mapping tools, there's a good chance this won't be the last lost civilization we uncover. If Pavlopetri stayed hidden for this long, what else is out there waiting to be rediscovered? All right, guys, now let's head over to Number 6. The vampire squid. The deep ocean is a different world, and creatures like the vampire squid prove it. This thing is unlike anything else. Jet black, red-eyed, and covered in a cloak-like membrane that makes it look like it's straight out of a nightmare. Despite the name, it's not a squid or an octopus. It's its own species, a living fossil that hasn't changed for millions of years. It lives over 3,000 feet below the surface, where the water is almost freezing and the sunlight never reaches. Unlike normal squid, it doesn't release ink when threatened. Instead, it shoots out a glowing, sticky mucus that confuses predators in the pitch-black depths. Scientists still don't fully understand its behavior, but one thing is clear: it has adapted to survive in one of the most hostile places on Earth. Number 5. The Molinaire Underwater Sculpture Park. A sculpture garden at the bottom of the ocean might sound peaceful until you actually see it. Molinaire Bay, Grenada, is home to 75 life-sized human statues sitting in the depths, slowly being taken over by coral and marine life. Some stand alone, others are arranged in a ring, hand in hand, like they're performing some kind of ancient ritual. As the years go by, the sea transforms them. Algae creeps over their faces, barnacles attach to their limbs, and fish swim through their hollowed-out eyes. It looks less like an art installation and more like a drowned civilization frozen in time. Built by artist Jason DeCaires Taylor, this is one of the most haunting places in the world, and it's still growing. Over time, the sculptures will completely disappear beneath the reef, becoming part of the ocean itself. Number 4. The Milky Sea. Jules Verne, the guy who wrote 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, once described a glowing ocean. For centuries, people thought it was just another fictional tale. But in 2005, scientists realized he might have been onto something real. A massive patch of ocean, the size of Connecticut, was spotted glowing in the dark off the Horn of Africa. It's been called the Milky Sea, and it left scientists stunned. At first, they dismissed it, thinking no bioluminescent organism could ever light up that much water at once. But satellite images proved otherwise. Oceanographer Steve Miller teamed up with scientist Steve Haddock, and they tracked down footage from a ship called SS Lima, which passed through the glowing waters in 1995. The light wasn't flickering like regular bioluminescence. It was a steady, eerie glow stretching over 15,400 square kilometers. Turns out, it's caused by bioluminescent bacteria called Vibrio Harvey, working together in massive numbers to create a light show so big it's visible from space. Number 3. The Purple Orb. The ocean is full of weird creatures, but every now and then, something comes along that leaves even scientists speechless. That's exactly what happened when an exploration vessel named Nautilus stumbled upon a glowing purple orb 1.5 kilometers beneath the surface off the coast of California. This wasn't just some jellyfish or weird rock. The orb was perfectly round, glowing slightly, and completely unknown to science. Even stranger, a crab appeared out of nowhere, aggressively swiping at it as if trying to hide it from the cameras. The crew speculated, could it be an egg sac, a jellyfish, or something entirely new? To find out, they used a special vacuum hose to suck up the orb and sent it to Harvard University for testing. The results? It was a brand new species of sea slug, part of the Pluero branch genus, except no known sea slugs in California are purple, meaning this thing might be an entirely new discovery. A glowing mystery from the deep, a creepy crab acting suspicious, and a species unknown to science, feels like a scene straight out of an alien movie. Number 2. The giant cannibal shark. In 2003, scientists tagged a 9-foot-long great white shark to track ocean temperature changes. Everything was normal for 4 months, until the tracking tag mysteriously washed up on shore. When researchers checked the data, what they found made no sense. The shark had suddenly plunged 1,900 feet straight down, and at the exact moment it happened, the temperature around the tag spiked from 46 degrees Fahrenheit to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That means one thing: something ate the shark. And whatever it was, it had to be even bigger. Scientists believe the only logical explanation is another great white shark, just way larger. Great whites sometimes eat smaller sharks, and the temperature increase suggests the tag was inside the predator's stomach for a while. However, some experts have another theory. What if something even bigger is lurking in the deep? Could there be a mega shark species we haven't discovered yet? Whatever happened, it's proof that the ocean still holds creatures that defy our understanding. Number 1. The train graveyard. Underwater. Lost ships? Expected. Lost trains? Now that's something else. Sitting 90 feet underwater off the coast of New Jersey lie 2 full-sized steam locomotives, perfectly preserved on the ocean floor. No tracks, no history of them being lost, just 2 trains, sitting side by side as they derailed into another dimension. Built in the 1850s, they were never recorded as missing, which makes their discovery even stranger. The best guess? They were being transported by ship and somehow ended up in the water. Either they fell off during a storm or they were pushed overboard to keep a sinking vessel afloat. Either way, these iron giants have been sitting at the bottom of the sea for over 160 years, rusting away in the darkness. And the weirdest part? Well, they're still upright, as if they're waiting at a station that no one ever built. What do you think about it? Well, let us know. And as we always say, if you find this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll see you very soon in the next one.